everybody, Dimple here welcoming y'all back to my tutorials on Android Framework Component Part 10a. In this tutorial, we will see what is USB Manager Framework. This framework includes many concepts, so I will extend this tutorial to the next part also. So let's get started. What is USB Manager? USB Manager has responsibility of handling USB connection, USB disconnection or discovering, charging, storage, tethering and many other USB functionalities. So all the Android APIs for USBs are represented in android.hardware.usb package. Now, before moving, we will learn what are different USB modes. So there are two types of USB modes. One is USB device mode. In USB device mode, your Android device is connected to your PC, and this Android device must implement the ADB functionality, and this device will take power from your PC. So the next type of mode is USB host mode. USB host mode is also called as on-the-go host, and it is also called as embedded host. So in here what happens, an external device is connected to your Android device through USB cable. So a pen drive can be an example here. So this pen drive is designed to take power from your Android device. Now we will see USB framework with respect to device mode. We know there are two modes, device mode and host mode. So first we will see the framework with respect to device mode. So in this device mode, you all can see this is the user space and this is the kernel space. So USB service is the key factor and it is the backbone in Android USB device mode. So USB service is the backbone. What happens is when a device is connected, the kernel is the one who will identify that the device is connected, and this information is passed to the user space through USB service. So the kernel, you can find these drivers which will detect and control the USB functionality, and other infrastructures include storage infrastructure, network daemon, charging infrastructure, who are interested in this detail whether the USB is connected or no. Next, we'll see USB framework of host mode. Host mode is similar to device mode, but we can find one extra thing here is that host mode will use the USB file system, whereas we were not using file system in device mode. So this library, USB library is there, libusb host is there, which helps in detecting the newly connected device, and there is a file system called kernel USB file system which will detect the device and transfer this information from Android to the kernel space or from kernel space to the Android. So this works on host mode, works on the file system concept. Next, we'll see how to discover USB within Android. So when Android device is connected to a PC via USB port, the USB functions like ADB, mass storage, all of them are enabled within the USB framework. So once you detect your device to your PC, all these functionalities will be enabled. The process of detecting USB connection to a PC starts with kernel, because kernel is the one who will detect that the USB is connected, which communicates, this kernel will communicate with Android framework, and this framework has the responsibility to decide which USB functionality should be shared with the PC. You all might have observed when you connect your device to your PC, you get a list of options. So this framework is the one which will decide which functionality should be shared with the PC. Then USB service is the first one to get started, and that is present in this particular path, Java com Android server system server.java. And here is a small code snippet how to create a USB server using USB service function and passing the current context. And then we use this add service method, and the context will be USB service. This will create the USB service. Now we will see what is USB storage. So there are two different types of USB storage protocols. One is UMS and one is MTP. Both of them are used to manage shared space in both host mode and device mode. So remember, there are two types of protocols, UMS and MTP. So what is this UMS? UMS is nothing but USB mass storage. We will see what is this now. So this UMS will use SCSI protocol. SCSI is nothing but it is a standard for attaching your peripherals to your computer, and it will also use BOT protocol. BOT is bulk only transport. It will use bulk in and bulk out endpoints for all your data transfers. So BOT is used for data transfers. So inside the Android framework, when the device boots or switches to UMS mode, framework will bring up the UMS functionality on the UI. So when the device will select the UMS mode, again, when you connect your device to your PC, it will ask the mode. So when you select UMS mode, it is the responsibility of the USB framework to bring up all this UMS functionality on the UI. So the mounting of storage is initiated by user through UI framework, which passes information to storage manager and mount service. So the user is the one who will initiate this entire storage procedure. Storage in the sense how you store data from your Android device to your PC. So UMS is one of the way in which we store data from your Android device to your PC. Now we will see a flow chart of how the entire process will work. So user is the one who will initiate this entire process, and once user initiate, mount service and storage manager will get started. So this mount service framework and storage manager will form a share command and pass this command to the daemon through daemon connector. So this will create a share command, and that command is passed to the daemon. Daemon here is volume daemon volt. So this volume daemon will detect any additional storage volume and helps to associate storage medium to the UMS kernel. So the share command is passed to the volume daemon through the daemon connector. Now when inside the daemon, the command is received and interpreted by the command listener, and this daemon will invoke a share volume. Now your storage space is created. Next, we will see what is MTP protocol. So MTP protocol was developed by Microsoft using client-server model. See, the difference between MTP and UMS is that in UMS, share storage, it shares storage completely with full control to the PC host, which gets right to delete or format. So there is no security in your UMS. Anyone can delete or format that particular storage. But in MTP provides a method to share storage in more secure and a structured way. So this was the main important difference between UMS storage and MTP storage. MTP is more secure and structured. So this will use a communication model called peer-to-peer model. One will be initiator and one will act as a responder. So responder is nothing but like a server. It will act like a server. So responder is started when Android USB framework enables MTP functionality, and once MTP service associates database with MTP server. So this responder will connect the database along with MTP server. Android device is ready to serve initiator. So once this connection between database and server is done, Android device is ready to serve initiator commands. Initiator commands are nothing but commands from the client. What is initiator? Initiator will act like a client requesting the services from the server. So initiator framework will export APIs to allow end users to develop apps. So it will provide various APIs for the end users to develop apps. So the end users through these APIs can communicate to the responder and request some of the services. So these were some of the concepts on USB framework. We will encounter some more topics in the next part. Thanks for watching. See